In this segment, I would like to show the operation of the keypad. As we know before, the normal key, mode key, start, stop, run when you're running in local keypad mode, up and down for moving within parameters, changing group, and then enter programming. And we'll show the operation of this as we go through. Pressing the mode key, each time you press the mode key, it'll go to the next group. The M or monitor parameters are showing all the, like a digital meter of sorts. Here we see the output frequency, and by going up and down, you can go through and see the parameters from MO1 output frequency, motor speed, output current. All the key parameters used in an operation are easily accessible. The set speed, the frequency input. M106 shows that you're in local mode, so if you need to know what mode is you're actually running to run the reference, you can look on here and see the parameters. It'll go through the key parameters of the application. Going to the next group is 201. You can see the input voltage. Right now we're running 453 volts from phase 1 to phase 2. 202 shows from phase 2 to phase 3 at 457 volts. Very important information, and the input voltage in AC is very rarely displayed on the drive's keypad, so this is good diagnostic equipment. The output voltage, at this point we're not running the motor. The DC bus voltage, 678 volts DC. The output power. So a lot of parameters that are used in the application, the heatsink temperature in degrees C, and torque current, excitation current. So it gets into a lot of the parameters. Go to the next group. Run time, total conductivity time, total run time, the auto tuning status, and we get into rated current of the actual unit. This is a 100 horsepower, 147 amp rated unit. It shows the name of the unit, so the inverter type, so a lot of information, control version on the firmware, and the status of the digital inputs is displayed from 1 through 6, so you can see, do troubleshooting on the inputs, the status of the open collector outputs and the relay outputs are displayed on the display, so you can do troubleshooting without having to have a meter. So this, the serial number of the unit is all displayed on there. We talked about the fault codes. There are 10 faults that are stored in the last 10 faults, and within each of the faults there's 2 screens and 8 parameters of what was happening at the time of the fault. In this case, there's no previous faults, but you can see the DC bus voltage, the speed, the current, the temperature. If you have a heat temperature related problem, you can see it shows up only under certain temperature extremes. If you go to the second screen, you can see the input AC voltage, the hours ran, and kilowatt and megawatt hours of the unit. So you can see a full history of what was happening, and it goes through each of the 10 faults with that same information. You can see on the display it also has the Amtech Drive's contact information with our address. We are in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and it has the phone number and fax number to contact us. Pushing the mode switch, we'll go to the A parameters. This is the first group of parameters used to set up the drive. If you're running in local mode, this is the parameter that you use to set the motor speed. In order to change that, you press the enter key, and you'll see the number starts to flash. You can use the left arrow to move over. Say you want to set it to 60 hertz. 3 is flashing. You move up to 60 hertz, press enter, and now you have a new set speed. So a simple programming, just hit enter, the parameter value will flash. You can move it left and right in order to change one value at a time, so you don't have to go from 60.01 and up, so you can move over to whatever number, whichever digit in the number you want to change. So it makes easy changing. Looking at some of the other pertinent parameters, A102 is your min speed, min frequency. Your A103 is your max frequency. Your jog speed in hertz. If you're running in a vector mode, you can set up a line speed in RPMs. A106 is a very important parameter, so you could easily set where your reference is coming from. In the default case here, we're running in local mode, which is a keypad, but say you want to change that, you press the enter key, the local flashes. Now if you're running from a 0 to 10 volt input from a speed pot, all you have to do is hit enter, and now you're connecting any 0 to 10 hooked to the FSV input on the terminal will be your current speed reference. If you want to change that, You can set it to FSI for a 4 to 20 milliamp signal, FSV if it's 0 to 5, 0 to 20 milliamps instead of 4 to 20 milliamps, a 10 to 0 if you have instead of a direct mode and indirect mode, you could have now 10 volts being 0 speed, 0 volts being full speed. This comes in handy in many applications. Same thing, you could have 20 milliamps being 0 speed, 4 milliamps being full speed. So it makes, all you have to do is hit enter, and now your reference is 20 to 4, and 20 being your minimum frequency and 4 milliamps being your maximum frequency. Other inputs for your frequency reference, you can hit 8, which is SSV from 5 down to 0. If you have a 20 down to 0 milliamp requirement, serial communication server using the RS-485 or Modbus RTU, all you do is set that to 11 and you'll be able to run from your serial communications. Your PID output, if you're running in a PID mode in a closed-loop system, which we'll talk a little bit later, all you have to do is set that and that becomes your reference for your drive and you're running in PID mode. The 0 to 10 VIN mode, so you have, like I said earlier, we have 4 analog inputs, 2 0 to 10, 2 4 to 20, so you have full control and full choices. Other parameters in the A group include your accel time, your decel time, and you have 2 sets of accel and decel parameters. So with a contact closure to a digital input, you can choose which of the 2 sets of accel decel times you use at any given point in your application. Also S-curve, you can have a linear acceleration or S-curve acceleration at different time, and a current limit acceleration time. Looking at A301, this is your start control. So if you want to run from the keypad in local mode, otherwise if you want to change that, you can start from your terminal mode, which would be a 2-wire or 3-wire possibly control, start-stop push buttons or contact closures. All you have to do is press enter, and now you're running from your terminal mode rather than from your keypad mode. Maintains A302. If you want to have a 2-wire or a 3-wire start-stop, you just change the connections, the programmers into A302. A303 is a start delay time. If you need a specific seconds to allow something to happen before the drive starts, you set it in that parameter. Stop mode, if you want to ramp down or coast to stop, you can set that in parameter A304. Motor direction, if when you're running in local mode, set up either forward, reverse. Your DC brake frequency and control is set by that parameter. Going to 401 control mode, whether you're running V by F or the parameters A601 through A608 are the parameters where you can set what you're looking at the normal screen or those 8 parameters in the meter screen. And A601, all you have to do is to set the parameters where you want them displayed and what parameter out of all the 16 choices is just programmed in A601 through A605. So as we see, whatever we're